Here we are. Okay. Welcome back.
Hello again. Part two.
Part two. So, we went through almost all of the questions, but I feel like we've touched on almost everything that was on my list. My last question was, do you have any suggestions for those who might be interested in becoming a Reiki practitioner?
Yeah, I think first of all, I always think that we need to ask ourselves a question: why do we want to become a Reiki practitioner?
What's the motivation?
Yes, our intent is very important because that will help you to find the right teacher. Because first you need to find, so before you even find the teacher, you need to have an intent. Why do you want to learn Reiki? And because that intent is also going to help you going forward when you are going through some tough spots, whether it's in your practice or your own life, because then you can go back to that intent. Hey, by the way, why I am doing it. And sometimes that intent changes as well, depending on where your life is moving you, where your practice is. So and then you I think you need to find a teacher who accordingly, who hopefully is working on themselves, because first and foremost Reiki is about self-empowerment, because if we are not looking within and working on ourselves and what our issues are, we cannot truly help other people. So you do want to see how they are in their own life. It's very easy. You just talk with them and you'll find out. And then then just go with it and make sure that you are practicing what you are preaching. And then be really diligent and authentic and honest to yourself first, because people will eventually see if you are authentic, if you are speaking from your heart, and you are not faking it. It eventually will, it just shows. You cannot hide that.
It's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Oh, well, I think when the student is ready, the teacher shows up. I do think that is the case with almost any of these modalities. If you want to learn something and your heart is in the right place, then that absolutely happened for me. I was open and ready, and I met Kelly through an event. She had a place called the Heal Center in Ojai. And Ojai is this beautiful place, spiritual center. It's gorgeous. A lot of people say that it is really similar to Sedona. So Ojai is the place. If you're a healer, that's where you go. And so she set up this beautiful place. And at the time, I was trying to create a wellness center, and I found the Heal Center, and I thought, this is exactly what I want to create. I need to talk to this woman. I need to learn. Who is she? Where did she come from? And why did she create this? How did she do this? And ultimately, when I started to learn from her about her business, one of the things that really struck me about her was her peace. She was always so centered and so peaceful, and I was all over the place. Back then, I could not stay focused. So I wanted to learn from her. And the beautiful thing, because I was at Ventura College learning about holistic health, she was teaching a holistic Reiki.
Oh, wow.
So it spoke to me, and I knew from that moment, like, I need to work with this person. I understood that there was a lot more that we needed to talk about.
Yes. You just know. I think if you're very clear in your mind, your intent or your focus, you're really clear about it, you start to find people in your life also who just, who are supporting you in your path, and you are supporting them in their path.
Right.
I think being centered and really grounded within ourselves is so important, because otherwise we can't have this, this straight intent. Usually we think about 20 different things. And like you're saying, I'm the same way. I'm still is the same way in a lot of ways, but I know when I first started, I was just all over the place, and just so definitely, system of Reiki the practice has really changed me in many different ways, and just like part of life. It's not like modality even, it's just like it is what it is. So definitely, if somebody is interested in system of Reiki, just ask yourself, why do you want to do? Do you want to do it because somebody else is doing it, so you want another certificate, or there's so many things. So and like like you were saying, as we do, we sometimes change. Our intent starts to change. Like, like initially when I was just thinking, oh, I need to be a teacher, but then I said, I actually want to help myself. So it just all changed. The more and more you see the benefit of it. So I think we do need more and more people who are really understanding the importance of holistic medicines, and natural medicines, and just Reiki and mindfulness and acupuncture, yoga, those type of things, because that can really empower ourselves. We don't have to go and put a pill every time we have something going on. So
there's another solution.
Yes.
Yeah. So today I had an opportunity to spend some time here at ASU downtown, and I went upstairs to speak with the Education Opportunities Office and told them about this opportunity, and they told me that we need more things like this. This is great, and they want me to promote what we're doing with them, so that's wonderful. I also went to ASU Tempe, and I talked to Tessie, who is our student organization support system. So anytime I have questions about the organization itself, that's who I go talk to. So I had a great conversation with Tessie, and she's all excited and totally inspired. I had a conversation with an advisor in life sciences, and she was all into holistic health and was really excited. And then I went into the Changemaker Central office, which of all the places on the campus, Changemaker Central is like the place to be, right? So I went in and I was like, okay, I'm here to change the world. How am I going to do that? And I had a great conversation with them. They gave me so many wonderful ideas. So all it really took was a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and me being my authentic self, being out there and trusting that there are people that want to see this happen. And here we are. So really, I'm super excited about the space. I think
it's a wonderful space.
It's going to be perfect. As we grow, we'll be able to hold large numbers of people. So if we attract 50 people, we'll still be comfortable. I think that's a wonderful thing. So we talk about setting intentions. Absolutely.
Yes, I mean, I'm like, when we talked the other day, I was just saying, I don't know how this is going to happen, but hey, here I am. We are here now.
We are here now. Yes.
Are you here?
Are you here now?
Missing all the fun, I tell you.
Oh my
Yeah, and you know, authentic self, you know, is also about really enjoying. You know, it's not just the joy when we have this inner joy. I think it's so much easier to share. You know, we talk about quantum healing, quantum energy. What is energy? This joy is energy. You know, it is so tangible that you feel it.
That's true.
And so, you know, just share it. You know, like we just talked about, we are not even connected with each other. How are we gonna get connected? You know, just bring yourself out, bring your inner child out. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about sharing with everyone, you know, all this love that we feel within ourselves.
Well, since we have a little bit more time, I was thinking maybe we could just share about our dreams. What would you like to see in the world? What would you like to create?
So my I think it's good to share our dreams and our visions, because the more we talk about it, more it becomes real. Because everything has energy. Everything is energy. So, so my dream, my vision is, I want to keep. First of all, I want to keep myself become like more empowered, so that I can help more people. So that is really goes without saying.
Okay.
But what my dream really is to have a non-profit organization, like which would help people about how to take care of themselves, their mind. So like a mindfulness center, specializing in children and adults who have special needs, not just autism, ADD, learning disability, or any physical handicap, as well as their caregivers and parents. And
that's wonderful.
So that's really my big vision. And I would love to also have different therapies in there, you know. So like it would be like a go-to place where they can access non-traditional and traditional therapies, and get help. You know, if they don't have funds, they can get some help. And of course, you know, for our daughter, we have a special need trust, because we know a time will come when me and her father are not going to be here physically. So I would love that nonprofit organization also to support her.
That's beautiful.
So
yes,
want to have that on her name. So it will be like, you know, it just lives, you know, the intent, the thought, the dream will just live. So that's really my dream right now.
That's a beautiful dream. I would love to share my dream. Yes. I see a much different world. In my head, I see the future. I see what our possibilities are. And one of those beautiful possibilities is an integrative wellness center that is wholly integrative. So the conversation started when I was in California. I created a wellness center that was really just like just the beginning. And with that center in the past, we had health fairs and introduced people to all kinds of modalities, and I was working on creating cooperative structure that was unique cooperative structure that it's called a multi-stakeholder cooperative. Basically what that means is normally a cooperative structure is one type of co-op. So it'll be, for example, housing co-op is an agreement between several individuals who want to live in the same house or the same neighborhood. They create a housing cooperative to do something, like either live together, build houses, get loans, what have you. So in that kind of structure, everyone owns a piece of it. So it's not individually owned by one person. It's something that is wholly owned by the organization. The people that put their heart and soul into it own the organization.
Wow.
So that has always really inspired me. And so what I see is a multi-million-dollar organization that is an integrative wellness center that has allopathic, holistic, and quantum practitioners all working under the same roof, with the goal of helping an individual patient resolve their disease. So it's not about finding cures necessarily,
right?
But it's about finding a resolution that either allows them to move through their disease in a more peaceful and healthful way, or something that allows them to remove the disease and move on in a more holistically healthful way, but using therapies from all the different modalities so that people can truly heal. So what I do see is that we are limited in allopathic medicine to drugs and surgery.
Exactly, that's it.
But we're also limited in holistic therapy because of our society's belief system about these therapies. And so what I would really love to see is more integrative centers like that coming through in the future. And that's something that I think it's going to happen organically. People are going to start to recognize the value of holistic and quantum practitioners and start to bring those practitioners into their practice. It might be individual doctors that start doing this, or it might be medical groups. You know, maybe some innovative medical group is start their first one. But I do see it sort of like a resort space where people can come for several weeks at a time and learn and heal and maybe cleanse, maybe go through you know, IV therapy or whatever they need to get back into balance. I don't think it necessarily has to be a place where you come as like just a one-time visit. Kind of place like where you can come and stay.
Yeah, it is very, you know, I really like what you're saying. I mean, I think at least in the US, we don't have that kind of a concept. About a year and a half ago, I went to India, and my roots are in India. And I went to one of their, they had this naturopathy center over there. It's called Yoga and Naturopathy Center, where they have doctors there who are actually naturopathic doctors. So you could go outpatient, but you also can stay there. I stayed there for 2 weeks. So, you know, you eat the food they give. So it's like a very different kind of food, you know, certain foods. And from 5 o'clock in the morning till like 9:30, you know, you have a schedule. So you get different types of therapies over there, which is based on the nature treatments, you know, like whether it's a mud treatments or sun therapy. I mean, something that I don't think exists here in LA. And people come, and they have these kind of centers, like different centers all over. And you go there, to heal yourself. You know, people go there for weight reduction or pain or like all kinds of issues. And they have facility over there, you know, for people who are seniors or can't afford. So when you were talking about that, you know, like not like curing, but just to empower themselves so they can get through that thing, whatever they're going through. And I think this integrative concept is a very newer concept, you know. I mean, what you're saying and kind of what I'm saying is just like same in a lot of ways. But
I see possibilities for partnerships.
And I just think that is the way to go, because not everything every answer is a pill, because you take a pill, you have 20 side effects with it. You know, so you took pill for one thing, and now you have 5 other things.
Yep.
Which you didn't have before.
Yep.
So we have to really see where we want to put a line. When do we really have to take a pill every time we have a headache? I mean, you know, do we really want to have when we are sad and stressed? And I'm not really putting it down, you know, because there is a place for it.
Sure.
So, yeah, and I think we need to educate. So,
I do too.
You shared, I mean, I want to ask you about that wellness place that center that you did in California. How was that? I mean, can you share a little bit about that?
Okay, so the name of the business was the Holistic Wellness Community Center, and I wanted to create a place where people can come in and learn and heal. And my first program was called the Optimal Wellness Program, and I ended up taking 30 individuals through this 12-week program at different time intervals. So each group had an opportunity to come each week and learn something about optimal wellness. And I taught them about first, holistic lifestyle, what that means, understanding like we are multi-dimensional creatures, we have all these dimensions, and if we only focus on one of those dimensions, then all the other dimensions we lose focus. We don't stay as healthy as we could. And it's not necessarily to overwhelm you because you're this complex human being. It's the idea is that we're all human, and we all have certain needs as human beings, such as we need sunlight, we need water, we need proper nutrition. The proper nutrition should be food. It shouldn't necessarily be supplements. I taught them about superfoods and how to access nutrient-rich food and what kind of food that was. I taught them about mindfulness and being present and understanding that there's more to mindfulness than just being in the here and now. No, there's more to it. For example, being able to be aware of your emotional state. That was a skill that I learned years ago from a psychotherapist, who she said, every now and then throughout your day, take your emotional temperature. Ask yourself where you are in your emotional well-being. And from then on, I did this practice. And so when I had this opportunity to teach people, we were talking about mindfulness. That was one of the practices. And later on through the 12 weeks, then we started to get into more spiritual conversation and being aware of your spiritual path. Do you have spiritual practices? Are you feeding your spirit? Is there something that you can do in your life that you're not doing that would allow you to bring that practice into your existence? You know, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's going to a church online, or listening to a podcast about God, or about spirit, or about the universe, or whatever your language is. But having a spiritual side that will allow you to have a more whole existence. And at the end of it, so at the very beginning I would do a survey and ask them basically where they were in their life. And at the end of it, I would do the same survey and compare. And very often people found a lot of peace and a lot more insight than they had before they did the program. So that was something that through that time I was trying to learn as much as I could about my client base so that I could develop the program and get better at it, get better at teaching it, but also get better at implementing it. So how do we how do we track them in a more scientific way that shows their progress?
Exactly.
How do we show them skills instead of just an intellectual conversation?
Exactly. So they
How do
have
we give them the
experience.
hands-on, the kinesthetic learning? I'm a really kinesthetic learner. I have to write things down. I have to feel them to really understand them. So that was something I wanted to bring more into it. So at the very end of the business, after doing all of these sessions with people, so I was offering the group sessions, but then each person had 6 one-on-one sessions with me, so they could do individual coaching to work on, personal stuff. So I became a better coach as a result of all that practice. I also did wellness fairs. So every 6 months, we hosted a wellness fair. I brought practitioners from all over the county to come and set up a booth. Every event that we did was fully sponsored by the community. So every single practitioner that saw value in what we were doing, I asked them if they wanted to sponsor the event. We had sponsors from $50 all the way to $500 for each fair, and all the expenses for the fair were covered by the sponsorships. So I had very little expense to make it happen, which was a beautiful way to make it happen. It was a flow, that flow space, which I would love to recreate a lot of that. One of the things that I talked to the officers about with this club is creating a wellness fair here at ASU. And while they're on board, they don't know exactly what it's going to take to make it happen. I remember we did a total of 8 fairs over the time that I was in business. And I remember feeling joyful exhaustion by the time it was all over. I remember feeling like that was a hell of an intense day, because there's so much that goes into it. But by the end of it, it is such a beautiful thing.
Fulfilling,
And what I absolutely loved about those events, a lot of times at the very end, I would get these beautiful compliments from people that participated. Every single time there was someone that said, "Thank you, that was amazing." And it just kept going. Like, I need to keep doing this because I love it. I love bringing people together. I love seeing people light up when they learn something, and being able to do that in a group where lots of practitioners are working together, but not necessarily working together.
Yes.
It's such a cool thing. So it was really a powerful experience. And
so
I
you
learned
have
a
that
lot.
experience, you have that experience, and it's so much, like you said, you learn by experience. And I think experience is the most important thing in anything. We can always get better, or we can always then apply better, help other people. If we haven't experienced that, how are we going to help other people? So it's like, I think you have that enthusiasm, you have that energy, and you have that experience, which is tangible for others to feel as well.
Yes.
So,
yeah. That's that inner term that I've got going on. The dynamic personality. When I was a young person, in my 20s, I held all of this in. I was not in alignment. I didn't know really who I was. And I was very shy, very quiet. And it was, I was 29, and I had volunteered for Vote for Equality. It was for the gay marriage campaign in California. And it was after I'd gotten out of a marriage, and so I was single for the first time in my adult life. And I thought, I'm going to try helping people. So I volunteered for this campaign. One of the things that they had us do was canvas. So we went out and talked to people in Orange County about gay marriage. Not the easiest task. It's a very, it's the opposite of liberal. Very conservative area, right? And so there was a little fear, but it got me out of my shell, and I knocked on people's doors and talked to them about how they felt about gay marriage, and then but there was this one incident. So toward the end of my volunteer time, they brought the volunteers to a gay bar, and we were supposed to go into the bar and talk to people about the campaign. And I went up to this older lady, and I stammered a little bit and apologized. I said, "I'm sorry, I'm shy." And she said, "No, you're not." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And as soon as I said it out loud,
then you were fine.
I was like, wait a minute. I've been claiming I'm shy for my whole life. How is it possible that I am not shy? Is this really true? So I sat with it for a good 2 or 3 weeks. I really sat with it and thought about it. And it's not comfortable for me to hold it in. It's not comfortable for me to be a flower on the wall kind of person. That's not my truth. And as I got more and more confident, more and more comfortable with my truth and who I am, I understood. I am a social butterfly. I love people. I love to talk.
I love people too.
I love hugs. I love interaction. I love intimacy. I love it when people really connect on deep levels and not just like that topical. I don't do small talk very well. And that's something that I've learned to work with. I definitely throw people off guard. When I'll ask them a very deep
like me
question about life, and they're like, "Whoa, that's profound."
And we all have that potential. I think we just, like you said, we kind of are in this shell, and sometimes, like you said, you were saying I'm shy. Sometimes we hear this thing where people say, we believe it because people say about that, oh, she's shy or she's this, and oh yeah, I am shy, but am I? Like we don't really, those perceptions, this belief system, we just like dawn on ourselves what other people say. So so definitely energy thing going on here.
Can we talk a little more about belief systems?
Yes, belief system is really powerful. It is really powerful. Like I think when, like I was talking to you about that belief system, earlier about certain things. And I think that is like a belief system. What is belief? Like belief is something, sometimes it's not even our own belief. It's like we, as a child, usually a child does not have a lot of beliefs. A small, when we are toddler, they don't have. They are very open.
Sponges.
We're sponges. We just observe, whatever we're listening or hearing, but we're very open. And sometimes we have these experiences, whether we bring it, we have that either from our parents or society, we keep hearing it, and then it becomes we can get all this confused in our mind, initially. And then we start to believe. When we start to believe it, we see it happening. We see something happening, and then it becomes stronger. And then it becomes a habit. So it was something we heard, then it became a belief, then it became a habit, then this is what we become. But are we belief? Are we a habit? Who are we? So this also means is that when we start to like you were saying about that onion, when we start to peel these things off, we have that potential of changing our beliefs, you know, changing those habits.
Definitely.
And definitely, I mean, I like, you know, one of the things is about my laughter. You know, you were talking about shy. I'm going to talk about my laughter. And
I love your laugh.
So I'm always like this growing up. So sometimes I would hear that, don't laugh loud, don't laugh loud, you know, you shouldn't laugh loud, or you're a girl, or whatever, you know, from society.
Yeah.
And so that was very difficult for me to sometimes keep it in. And I think a time came in my life when it was just not happening. You know, it started to suppress more and more, and I kind of became a very sorry and sad person. I don't remember when was that now, but there was a time.
It happened, yeah.
And then I think when I started to have this practice, you know, coming back to system of Reiki and really finding my authentic self, one day I realized I'm laughing again.
It came back.
It was just hidden somewhere. So now it doesn't really matter. It does not really matter what anyone thinks. Not that I don't care about people, but I don't try to hide myself thinking, oh, I shouldn't laugh, or I shouldn't, you know, do this. And like like you were saying, you know, it just shines through, you know, like I'm just saying, you know, your enthusiasm, your authenticity shines. I have so many times people say, oh, we love your laughter, it's so contagious, you know, and it has started to happen more and more and more now.
That's wonderful.
And so it's like, so I initially, when that happened, I just like you, I started to contemplate on it. Now, what was that all about?
Yeah.
You know, the same thing when so many years ago people used to say, don't do it. You laugh too much, you're so loud, you are blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But now I say, okay, this is me. So do you have like anything about your like belief? Have you like changes? I mean, one of the things, of course, was being shy.
The shyness. Yeah, and learning that I wasn't truly shy, that was something that was given to me as a young person. I am quiet. That is something that I can be. And I think that people thought that I was shy when I was young because I was so quiet.
You were just listening. Yeah.
Yeah, I listen and absorb.
Yeah.
I think through my youth and early adulthood, because I had spent so much time listening and being quiet, I learned a lot about the human spirit because I watched people, how they struggled and how they didn't struggle. And I felt that I had a deeper understanding of humanity and where we were going. Well, and then all these years later, one of the things that I learned as a young person was that fear guides us. I watched my parents live in fear for a majority of both of their lives. And I remember a certain point in my 30s when I was in California, I remember letting go of fear and recognizing that maybe I don't need this. Set it aside. Maybe I can do this life without fear. And it's not that fear doesn't come up. It's that I don't choose to sit with fear anymore.
Yeah, it has softened. You don't sit in that fear for days, for years, for months, you know.
Right.
It comes, it touches you, it gives you a message, you know. Fear can be a very teaching experience, you know. We can be fearless from fear.
Yep.
So, but if we are running away from it, only way to really, go after fear is just face it. Don't chase it. Don't do anything with it. Just like you said, face it.
Yeah.
Yes, that fear is a big one, I think, in belief system. So many times I think we hold on to our belief because of the fear, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was deep.
That was deep. I think that's a good place to stop.
Yep.
Well, thank you everyone who has been so kind to join us tonight. We will share contact information, I guess, down there in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, so this is all new for me, but we will do that. And thank you, Seema, for coming out.
Thank you, Stephanie, for inviting me.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Everyone have a blessed evening. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.